Hey everybody, I am going to show you how I do one of my favorite summer looks. It's going to be super bronzy, really pretty. And to start out, we're going to start with Candlelight Shadow Sense. It is a kind of creamy color that I'm going to put all over my lid. And I just use kind of a fluffy eyeshadow brush. And I just apply some of that candlelight directly to my brush. And I'm going to apply that all over my lid. Candlelight is one of my favorite shadow scents. It has a peach base to it, and that peach is going to neutralize all of the blue and purple undertones on your eyelid. So if you're like me and you've got a lot of veins up there, it's going to brighten it up and neutralize those so effortlessly and look amazing. And don't worry, I'm super tired today, so my words are coming out real great. All right. So that's pretty much how I create my base, okay? Now from there, I'm going to take a couple other colors. For a transition color, I want to use Mocha Java, and I'm going to use a fluffy brush and take some regular Mocha Java, which is a really pretty neutral brown color. I'm going to put it right here next to the candlelight. So it's that little bit darker brown. And Mocha Java can be used for seriously everything. Brows, contour. You can mix it with your lip scents, you can mix it with different shadow scents. Some people use it to cover up their roots when their roots are growing out. It seriously works for everything. So I'm just going to use that as a really basic transition color. And again, I'm just kind of taking some off the wand. It's super, super buildable, which is nice. And once it stays and dries, it's there for the day. Did I even make sense? Once it dries, it's there for the day. Can you guys tell that I have tons and tons of practice of walking people through my makeup steps? Okay, so I just kind of do that, get that all even, make sure it's blended out. And now I'm going to take a little bit of Shimmer Smoked Topaz, and I'm going to use a thicker fluffy brush. This is a Real Techniques brush. I like using this for my crease. And I'm just going to put a little bit of Smoked Topaz Shimmer on there. Let me show you what Smoked Topaz Shimmer looks like. I'm putting it on the other side of Candlelight. It's kind of got like a green undertone, but it's still brown, and then it's got that little bit of shimmer. So you can see how those are matte, and then that one's shimmer. So you really don't need a lot at all, and I'm just going to blend that through the corner, the outer corner of my eye, and kind of keep it in my crease and just blend it really, really well. And with Shadow Sense, it's super easy to build up, but it's kind of hard to take things off. You can always lighten it up or wipe it off, but I would rather build my way up. So I always start with a little bit and then work into it. All right. So I'm just kind of doing like a half moon shape right here, and then you want to blend it in, and I'm blending it onto my eyelid. And it's not going to be super smoky, but I do want to give it some kind of depth and dimension in the crease. All right. Okay, when I feel like that's even, I'm going to move into Garnet. And Garnet is extremely pigmented. So when I use Garnet, I use barely any. I'm going to put a tiny bit on this brush. Like seriously barely any. I'm going to show you what Garnet looks like. It's such a beautiful brown. It's very warm brown. So as you can see, compared to the Smoked Topaz Shimmer, it's super warm. It's a matte color. It's just drying right now, but it's gorgeous on. And I'm just going to take that and kind of put it down here. And I barely touched it. You can see how much is coming off of my brush. That is definitely one color that you do not want to get too much of. All right, now I'm going to do the same little dot on the other side. Hope that wasn't too much. I can always blend it out. And then I'm just going to kind of tap it onto my eyelid, keeping it in that outer corner. All right. Perfect. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix two colors. And actually I'm going to mix Bronze Blush Scents, which is a blush, And I'm going to mix it on my little palette here with some Shimmer Copper Rose. And it is a really pretty copper color. I'm going to swatch it on my hand as well. It's so gorgeous. Okay, can you see that? Look at how pretty these shadow colors are. So I'm just mixing these on a palette. I have a little stainless steel like artist palette. So I'm just mixing them there with the bronze blush scents. And I'm going to tap that on my lid. And I love using the same product in multiple places on my eye and on my face. I just think it makes the look super cohesive and kind of blend without being too boring. So I'm going to kind of make sure that stays on the lid. Okay. I'm going to put some on the other side. Bring that up to the crease. It will take a little bit longer to dry with the blush scents mixed in than it does by itself, so that's something to think about when you're layering. But it's still not going to crease. You're still going to get the same all-day wear. It's going to look awesome. You can create so many new shades by mixing in our concealers, our blushes, lip scents, whatever. You can pretty much just mess with shadow scents till you die, and there will always be more colors. So I'm going to let that dry. And then I'm going to mix 2 more colors, and I know it's a lot of mixing today, but I think it's going to be a really cool result. I'm going to mix some Mocha Java Shimmer and some Pink Opal Shimmer. And Pink Opal Shimmer is a really pretty light pink color. It almost looks white, but it does have a pink hue to it. And then Mocha Java Shimmer is obviously Mocha Java, but with a shimmer to it. And it is probably my personal favorite color. It's not the one that I use the most, but look how gorgeous that is. So I'm going to mix those 2 colors. Same on my palette. And I'm going to use that to do kind of like my inner eye, the inner corner of my eye. And I'm going to use a flat brush that I'm just going to kind of, it's like a really small flat brush. And I'm just going to tap that, mixing my colors. All right. And then I'm just going to tap that on the inner corner of my eye. And bring it right in through here. Probably going to want to pull the rest of it on this. All right. It's such a pretty combo. And then I'm going to take one of the brushes that doesn't have any shadow on it, and I'm just going to kind of blend that backwards into the rest of the eye. Now if I feel like I've lightened it up too much, I can go back in and use some of the stuff that's still on my palette and kind of blend. Which is the nice thing about using a palette, is that you can kind of keep the colors on there and use them as you want to. They will dry, but you can always get them moving again with a little bit of Nangai oil. Okay, so I have kind of a 3-part eye. I have the light, the copper, and then the brown out here. Not too crazy, but it's that coppery look that I'm going for. So before I clean up my outer eye, I'm going to put on a little bit of lash scents. This is in black brown, and I'm going to be putting lashes on after this video, so I'm not going to go too crazy with the eyeliner because I'm going to an event tonight, so I want actual like big lashes. So what I do is I always like let this dry just a little bit. There is some alcohol in here that keeps it sterile, so I'm letting that evaporate, and now I'm going to put that on my lash line. It's probably better if I use a closer mirror. I'm going to grab a mirror. So again, every time you dip it, and I'm just bringing it right above the lash line where I know that I'm going to have my lash strip. I have the cutest little pink mirror. When I first started using this, I thought it was going to be so much harder than it is to use, just because the brush is so small, if you can kind of see that. Let me put my hand up here. It's a really tiny brush, but it's actually a lot easier than I thought. I got used to it really, really quickly. And then to finish off my eye, I'm going to go back in with my Shimmer Smoke Topaz, and I'm going to just do a little bit of under eye eyeliner. So I'm going to take an angled brush and just kind of touch it to the end of that and pull it through here. I love how versatile these shadows are. It is really hot today. It's like in the 90s. I'm going to a party and I know I'm going to be able to dance and have fun, and my makeup is not going to sweat off. The shadow is water resistant. It's almost waterproof. But if you rub it when you're in the water, you know, like if you're taking a shower. But it's going to last me all night, and I'm not going to be that girl with her mascara and her shadow like down under her eyes, you know, like the raccoon I look. Okay, now I'm going to clean it up. So how I usually clean this up is I have my makeup remover, and I actually put my makeup remover in a spray bottle to make it easier. So I'm going to spray a little bit on this cotton pad and just kind of make it into a point and upward motions. All right. Now I don't have any outside the lines. I didn't pull down on my eyes because I'm not trying to make them sag, and got all of that extra shadow off. Cool. Done with the eyes. I always like to do eyes first for that reason, so that I can be done with them and move on to the rest of my face and not have to clean up my makeup again. Now I'm going to do my brows. So I use Brow Sense every single day. It has this really cool spoolie brush on one side, and it has the same brush as the Lash Sense Eye Sense brush on the other side. So I always brush out my brows, and I don't need to do a ton because I do have I can talk. I have microbladed brows, so I don't need a ton, but I do like to just kind of add a little bit of dimension and get these guys to stay in place, because this stuff will make it so that your brows kind of don't move. And this is waterproof. It will last days if you leave it on here without using makeup remover, like swimming, all that kind of stuff. It's gonna stay on. Your brows are gonna look fabulous. Like at this point, I don't think I'll even get my brows touched up from the microblading, because I can create different brow looks with this every day, versus microblading where when you get done, you're kind of stuck with the brow look you've got. You can't go smaller or more arched, you know, it's just kind of there. So this is the Brow Sense. You can see how easy it is to just kind of pull that through there. You want to fill in kind of at a 90-degree angle towards here. This part is a little bit trickier because you do not want to have the same thickness at the front as you want at the back. It's supposed to fade. Like naturally it's going to fade. Naturally it's going to be a little bit thinner in the front of your brow or in the inner brow right here than it is on the outside. So, and I learned this from a makeup artist that I love, you want to make sure that this is kind of at almost a 90-degree angle. I hope you can see the little brush strokes that I'm doing. And then I just comb it out. Okay, and then it's gonna dry and it's gonna stay there. So it's not a crazy dramatic brow, but if you look at the difference between the two, and then that one's gonna stay all day long, I'm not gonna have to worry about it, right? It's actually gonna stay for a couple days, which is even better. Okay, other brow. And remember, your brows are supposed to be sisters, not twins. So if you don't get them perfect, do not fret. It is okay. Especially with Brow Sense, because Brow Sense is just going to make you look like you have really nice, thick, natural brows, which is kind of the goal. In 2018, it seems like that's the goal. So you just use this, kind of draw those little lines in there, comb it out if you need to, and it's going to give you gorgeous, natural looking brows without looking like they were painted on. Sometimes the Instagram brow is still in, but for summer, I just think this looks so good and so bright, and it just kind of looks like more effortless. And especially when you're going out and you're going swimming and doing all this stuff, like, you don't have to worry about this brow sense at all. It is not going to move. It is not going to disappoint you. It is going to be there for you till the end of the day, till the next day. It is amazing. All right. So that's pretty much how I do my brows. And again, that's going to last for a day, so I don't have to worry about it for a little while. Now, I'm going to start doing my foundation. So I like to do my concealer after my foundation these days. And for foundation right now, I am wearing the color Tan. And because I'm going for a little bit of a bronze look, I'm not going to put pearlizer in my foundation today, but I'm going to use it to highlight. So I like to use a stipple brush. This is actually an e.l.f. brush that I really like. And I'm just doing one pump of my Tan Make Sense foundation. This is just the regular Make Sense foundation, not the anti-aging. I have found that the regular Make Sense foundation is a little bit more waterproof than the anti-aging foundation, and it still has the Cineplex complex in it, so I don't really feel like I'm missing out on the extra anti-aging. So if you're under like 45 or 50, you should be using the Make Sense foundation instead of the Advanced Anti-Aging Make Sense foundation, okay? So I'm just going to sit and buff this in, and it's super easy. It gives you the best finish. Like, it's such a glow, like glowy, not as in like shimmery, but just, it looks airbrushed. It looks like you don't have a ton of stuff on your face, which one, you don't, because not only did I prep my skin with silk, so it's a pore and wrinkle minimizer that I put on before all the rest of my makeup, this foundation is not cakey, it's not thick and gross. It looks so good on your skin and so natural. Your face just ends up looking flawless. And this stippling brush, or any stippling brush that has thicker bristles down at the bottom and then, you know, more spaced out bristles up top, is going to give you that airbrushed, gorgeous finish. All right. I think we've got that pretty good. It's kind of hard to tell when I'm in my phone, so I'm gonna look at the mirror down here, but it looks good. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to do my concealer. So normally I mix a couple different colors for concealer, but today I'm actually going to try mixing foundation, a lighter foundation color. I'm going to use Dewy, and then I'm going to mix that with white shadow sense. And you're going to be like, what? You're crazy. But yes, a white shadow sense. So I just put those on my palette. I'll show you my little, okay, white shadow sense and Dewy foundation. It's just one step lighter than I'm using right now. I'm going to use a flat foundation brush and just kind of mix those two together. And I'm going to apply that under my eyes. And it's going to seem really bright when I start, but I promise it will not be so crazy by the time it's all blended out. Okay, so our foundation and our shadows, they don't sit in your fine lines and in your pores, right? So they're not going to crease. It's not going to look like you've had makeup on for 6 years and it's just settled in. It looks so bright and it sits right on top of your skin, especially with the Silk Pore and Wrinkle Minimizer. All right. And it really just brightens that up so well. I love our concealers too, but I've been seeing a lot of people try the lighter foundation color idea, and so I thought today would be a great time to try it. Plus, you can get these travel size foundations. I have them linked. I can show you how to get one of these. They're $8, and so if you have a couple colors you're going in between, you can kind of mix and match and try them out without having to commit to a full-size bottle. So if you're ever interested in one of those, let me know. I will hook you up. Okay, so like I said, it's not going to be too crazy once it's kind of blended in, but it does brighten up under my eyes a lot. Now I'm going to contour and do a little bit of highlight, because that was just my concealer. So for my highlighter today, I'm going to use my Pearlizer Make Sense foundation, which I love, and I'm going to use a little bit more of that Pink Opal Shimmer, which is that shadow sense. Okay, so I just put that right on top of the concealer right here. And I'm going to use a different brush to apply that. I'm just mixing that up, and it gives it such a pretty highlight. And I'm just going to put that on my cheekbones and down the bridge of my nose and right above my lip on my Cupid's bow. Okay? And now I'm just going to blend that in. So because it is that foundation, it has Zenaplex Complex in it, which all of our products do, but it has skincare in it. It is SPF like 25. You're protecting your skin, you're treating your skin, you're putting a mechanical shield on your skin. It's actually, they're tiny little particles of ash from the volcano on the island of Vanuatu that are in these products, and that's what gives you the mechanical sunscreen. Okay, so now I'm all glowy, right? And I'm going to contour. For contour, I'm going to use Bronze Blush Scents mixed with, because this is the day of mixing all the colors, mixed with Mocha Java Shadow Scents. So that's this color right here, okay? So I'm going to mix those two together. You really don't need a lot. And I'm just going to get that on my brush. And I'm using a flat brush. I just have a little bit on the palette. All right, so there are a lot of different ways of contouring. This is how I do mine. I am not educated enough to be like, this is the only right way, this is not the right way. I just do what I like because I'm trying to hide these chipmunk cheeks over here, okay? So I do a lot of contour down here. I know not everybody does, but I'm trying to minimize that about my face. So I contour all the way down there. Depending on your face shape and what you need, obviously tailor your contouring to your face shape. And I've Googled it before just to kind of see, and it makes my face look so much more oval when I contour down here. And as always, under my chin, because you know that double chin look doesn't look good on anybody, does it? No. All right. Just make sure that's all blended really, really well. And I'm going to do around my nose a little bit. All right. So this is going to give you a really good, just sun-kissed glow without going too crazy. I look like I spent the day at the beach, especially because I'm doing 30 days of no heat products on my hair. So my hair is just drying right now from the shower. Let's hope I can last the full month. All right, last step for this is my blush. And for my blush today, I'm going to be using Terracotta Blush Scents. And you're going to be blown away when you see how little you need, okay? That is it. That right there is it. It goes such a long way. You just dot it right here, and we're going to blend. I love this color. It's so peachy and sunny and happy, which is exactly what you should be for summer, right? Cool. All right, so we're done with the blush. We're done with pretty much everything. I'm going to put some setting powder on. I like our translucent powder, and I'm going to kind of dust some of this around my forehead. If you haven't used this before, you literally just smash it on your hand, and the powder is going to come down to the tip of the brush. And so I'm going to use this on my forehead. And you don't need a setting powder, but I like to on days when I know I'm going to be outside in the sun a lot. I'm going to an outdoor barbecue, and so I know I'm going to be out in the sun. All right. And then just because I can, because we're doing a bronzed look, I'm going to use our bronze powder. And I'm just going to use a little bit. We have 3 different powders. We have the bronze dust, we have the silver rose, which is kind of a pinky silvery color. It's super pretty. And we have the translucid. All right, so this is just the bronze. And it's just gonna give me that little bit of a bronze shimmer. You can also use it kind of like on your chest to kind of brighten things up there. Oh, don't worry, just unbutton my shirt. We're professional here today. But yeah, there's a lot of different places you can use it, and it looks really, really pretty on your skin without getting too like glittery. You know what I mean? Cool. Time for lip sense. So, whenever I put on my lip sense, I try to make sure that my lips are as clean as I can possibly get them. So that means I'm taking a cotton pad and I'm taking some witch hazel. And I'm going to clean my lips. All right, you'd be surprised how much kind of gets on your lips between foundation and concealer and highlighter. You never know, but get those lips clean. Now, I think today I'm going to use, let's see, let's try a couple colors. Because I want to go summery, but I have some of my favorites. You know, those ones that I always tend to go with. And I can't decide if today's a good idea to get out of my comfort zone and try something completely different, or to continue going with like this nudie, bronzy vibe that I have going on. Like, it's just one of those days. All right, let's look and see what I've got on some of these colors. So this is Honey Rose. And then I'm going to try Pomegranate, because it is summer, and I feel like summer colors, like you gotta try them, right? Just swatching all these on my hand. That one might be a bit bright. That's the thing about having all the colors, is that there's always like, it's always kind of hard to pick which one you want. Let's see. Precious Topaz. Precious Topaz has real diamond dust in it, you guys. How cool is that? I could even just layer it. I don't know. I wonder if I should layer Precious Topaz and Honey Rose. So I've never done that before, and it could be super pretty, because Honey Rose has a really pretty shimmer to it, so I'm going to try that. We don't know how this is going to look. Yeah, let's do it. Why not? Layering Precious Topaz and Honey Rose, two colors you probably wouldn't think to layer, but we are going to try it. So as always, you shake it really well, and you're going to apply in 3 very, very thin layers in one direction if possible. So I'm going to start. So just bear with me here. Okay, so that's layer number 1. I just wanted to make sure I got it all the way out to the edges of my lips. Such a pretty color. I really like this Precious Topaz a lot. I don't know if I'll even layer, but I committed to it, so I might as well, right? Okay, so that's dry. Now I'm going to do my second layer with Honey Rose. Hopefully this looks really cute. All right, I don't hate it. I think it's pretty. This is a good find. Okay, just gotta dry for a second. Takes about 10 seconds to dry. The second layer is the layer that's really going to last all day. So the first layer is what gets kind of broken down by your lips and your skin. The middle layer is what stays, and the outside layer gets broken down by the things you eat and drink and the environment. All right, last layer of Precious Topaz, and then we're gonna gloss it up. I cannot believe I'm putting diamond dust on my lips, y'all. All right. I'm just gonna let that third layer dry a little bit and get out my glossy gloss. So I like to seal with glossy gloss every single time. I do have other glosses that I love, matte, pearl, all that kind of stuff, but I think that